The Luna Ultra is here. It's time to finally find out just how good Insta360's pocket camera really is. The best way to do that is with a comparison, and there is currently no camera better suited for this than the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. Today we'll take a look at the special features the Luna Ultra offers and how it differs from the Pocket 4. Yes, there will also be a Pocket 4 Pro coming soon, but for now I wanted to understand whether the Luna Ultra is the best pocket camera yet, how it differs from the Pocket 4, and of course how the footage looks in a direct comparison. Let's find out. There are 10 categories that are important for this comparison. The Luna Ultra was provided to me by Insta360 for testing purposes, but this video does not include any additional paid sponsorship. And right off the bat, I want to show you my personal favorite feature of the Luna Ultra. The screen doesn't just fold to the side like on the Pocket 4. You can detach the screen along with the buttons, essentially the entire control unit of the camera. That means you have a remote with a good sized screen, allowing you to check the framing from a distance, start and stop recording, initiate tracking, and of course adjust all settings. This is an extremely useful feature, especially for solo creators and anyone who frequently films themselves. Yes, there's a slight lag, but it's absolutely acceptable. The detachable screen and control panel even has a built-in microphone. This means you can use the control panel not only as a remote control, but also as a microphone. You can set the camera up somewhere, let it track you from a distance, and use the remote as a microphone. And while the detachable screen is very thin, it has a surprisingly long battery life. I tested it and the screen lasted about an hour with the display on continuously. After that, you can simply reattach it to the camera and it charges automatically. I'm pretty sure Insta360 caught DJI off guard with this feature, because not only the Pocket 4 but also the Pocket 4 Pro, it's already clear, doesn't have a detachable screen. But there's another feature that clearly sets the Luna Ultra apart from the Pocket 4. It doesn't just have one lens but two, and essentially two cameras. While the main lens has a focal length of 20mm, exactly the same as the Pocket 4's main lens, the Luna Ultra also features an additional zoom lens with a 60mm focal length. With a quick press, however, you can also activate only the main zoom levels. And just like with the Pocket 4, there's a lossless zoom, 2x on the main lens and 6x on the zoom lens. The maximum zoom level on the Luna Ultra is 12x. Here you can see a comparison with the zoom levels of the Pocket 4, which has a maximum zoom of 4x. The zoom lens is particularly well suited for close-ups of faces, if only because it results in less distortion. It also has a good minimum focusing distance. You can therefore use the zoom lens to take macro-like close-ups as well. This means the zoom lens offers a variety of advantages. The additional features of the Luna Ultra, and especially the second lens, naturally mean that the camera is slightly larger and heavier overall. It's about 40 grams heavier than the Pocket 4, though this isn't particularly bothersome during use. Of course, it doesn't fit as easily into a pants pocket as the Pocket 4, but the included cover for the Luna Ultra is significantly better suited to protecting the camera and lenses than the Pocket 4's gimbal clamp. And something else I really like. There are small stands on the bottom of the camera that you can fold out, allowing you to set the camera up stably on a flat surface, even without an additional tripod. On top of that, the Luna Ultra has a removable wind guard that can significantly reduce wind noise. But all these cool extra features are useless if the image quality isn't good. So let's take a closer look at a series of direct comparison shots. Whenever new cameras are released, there's always discussion about sponsored videos, fake comments, and so on. I understand the debate, so I'll simply show you several longer, unedited comparison shots taken in different situations. That way, everyone can form their own opinion, independent of my personal view. The wide-angle main camera on both models feature a relatively large 1-inch sensor. The sensor of the zoom lens is slightly smaller at 1/1.3 inches. And while the Luna Ultra zoom lens has an aperture of f2, the same as the Pocket 4's lens, the Luna Ultra's main lens has an aperture of f1.8, which is actually slightly larger. The larger aperture results in an even stronger cinematic background blur and, of course, offers slight advantages in low light. But we'll get to that in a moment. Insta360 is not only proud of its collaboration with Leica in developing the lenses, but also of the Luna Ultra's 3 modern 4nm AI chips. But as always, these are just specs. In fact, at first glance, the footage from both cameras looks very similar in the default settings. The colors are nearly identical. The only noticeable difference is that the Luna Ultra's footage has slightly more contrast, making it look perhaps a bit darker and more saturated. At first glance, this looks slightly better, even if the difference is rather minor. And if you look closely, you'll actually notice that the Luna Ultra has slightly stronger background blur, which is made possible by the larger aperture. The dynamic range is similarly good on both cameras, and highlights are preserved just as well. If you prefer a slightly softer look, you can also shoot in log with the Luna Ultra and apply a conversion filter right in the camera. Then the footage looks even softer and more cinematic, as you can see here. This means you can shoot in 10-bit log with the Luna Ultra, but you don't have to edit the footage yourself. You can have the camera converted directly. This log recording, for example, was converted using the Leica natural filter. And on the topic of sharpness and detail, if we zoom in here to 500%, it's noticeable that the Luna Ultra's footage has slightly more detail than the Pocket 4's. In my opinion though, that's not all that significant. A different feature is much more important. Unlike the Pocket 4, the Luna Ultra can shoot in 8K at up to 30 frames per second. That alone is probably why the new processors were necessary. And I find it interesting that DJI didn't introduce an 8K feature for the Pocket 4. By the way, 8K recording on the Luna Ultra isn't just possible with the wide-angle main camera, but also with the 3x zoom camera. Here you can see a comparison shot taken in 8K with the Luna Ultra. If you zoom in on the shot, you'll see that the difference is quite significant. And the Luna Ultra's 8K footage is still usable even at a 500% magnification. For me personally, 8K isn't that important either, but it's certainly a feature that has its advantages, especially if you want to crop the footage in post. Unfortunately, the Luna Ultra also can simply rotate the lenses to the side and then take a shot in portrait mode with the same settings as in landscape mode. On the Luna Ultra 2, the portrait mode is merely a vertical crop of the 4:3 sensor. But since the Luna Ultra can shoot in 8K in landscape mode, the high-resolution sensor enables 4K recording at up to 60 frames per second in portrait mode. However, the 4K resolution was not yet available in the beta version of the firmware. The Pocket 4 can shoot in 3K at most in portrait mode, which is quite a limitation these days. And there's another special feature of the Luna Ultra. It can shoot in HDR Dolby Vision, and this even in 8K. Dolby Vision is actually less of a recording technology and more of a display technology that allows highlights to be displayed much brighter. You can only really see the actual difference when playing back the footage on an HDR-capable screen, such as the screen of a modern smartphone. It's strange that DJI didn't include this feature on the Pocket 4, since the Pocket 3 had an HDR function. Of course, both cameras feature a 10-bit log profile if you want to color grade your footage heavily. Here you can see a comparison shot using the log profiles on both cameras. For these two shots, I converted both log recordings using the manufacturer's LUTs. The conversion LUT provided by DJI results in somewhat strange skin tones, as you can see here. For log footage with the Pocket 4, I would therefore recommend an alternative third-party conversion LUT. And of course, both cameras have various cinematic filters like CC Film or NC Film. The Luna Ultra also scores points in this regard, as it comes with 3 nice Leica filters that let you shoot with that very distinctive Leica look. Color grading pros among you will especially appreciate another feature of the Luna Ultra. The Luna Ultra supports the ACES workflow, which means that if you need to match the colors of footage from multiple cameras, you can do so in the software with just a few clicks. In a direct comparison, the Luna Ultra thus has many strengths and advantages. But the Pocket 4 also has a very special feature. Only the Pocket 4 can shoot in 4K at up to 240 frames per second. That's a cool feature that lets you achieve interesting results. With the Luna Ultra, you can shoot in 4K at a maximum of 120 frames per second. A particular strength of a pocket camera with an integrated gimbal is shooting in low light, simply because the gimbal means it doesn't rely on electronic image stabilization. And take a look at these comparison shots. Neither edited nor altered in any way. It's very dark here, and you can see that the Luna Ultra's shot looks better in every respect than the Pocket 4's. It has better colors and visibly less image noise. That said, this is an extreme example. In most cases, when it's not quite as dark and there's sufficient artificial light like here, the Pocket 4 holds its own well in low light. But what consistently stands out is that the Luna Ultra achieves better white balance under artificial lighting conditions. Sometimes it might even be a bit too aggressive with the white balance. In fact, the Luna Ultra has been equipped with its own new sensor to find the optimal white balance. And when it gets very dark, it produces visibly less image noise than the Pocket 4. Therefore, low-light shots are another clear strength of the Luna Ultra for me. By the way, only the Luna Ultra can shoot in 4K 60 or with a higher zoom factor in low-light mode. Neither is possible visible on the Pocket 4 in low light mode. While the Luna Ultra sets new standards in image quality, it unfortunately suffers from the same limitations as the Pocket 4 when it comes to the gimbal's range of motion. The gimbal's range of motion is essentially identical on both cameras. Neither gimbal can rotate indefinitely around its own axis and quickly reaches its limit, especially when turning to the left. There are also hardly any noticeable differences between the cameras in the other direction and on the tilt axis. That's a shame, but there is likely a technical challenge here that we are not aware of. Both cameras feature the same stabilization modes and stabilize recordings very well. Viewers often notice the visible up and down movements while walking. Keep in mind that no gimbal can compensate for this, since a 3-axis gimbal doesn't stabilize along that axis. You simply have to try to balance this out yourself while walking. What both cameras excel at, however, is tracking. Both can track people as well as objects or animals. With the Luna Ultra, this is of course also possible with the zoom lens. I did a few tracking comparison tests, and as I said, both are excellent tracking devices. When tracking people, I had the impression that the Pocket 4 follows slightly faster. When tracking objects, the Luna Ultra clearly comes out on top, always using the best possible and fastest settings. What stands out, however, is that if a person disappears from the frame and doesn't reappear for more than a few seconds, the Luna Ultra is still able to redetect the person even after a longer period of time, while the Pocket 4 gives up relatively quickly. On the other hand, only the Pocket 4 allows it to register a subject that the camera then prioritizes for tracking and focusing when multiple people are in the frame. In contrast, only the Luna Ultra is capable of group tracking and can track a group of people without cropping out individuals on the sides. And the Luna Ultra also shines in photo mode. Both cameras take good, high-quality photos and benefit from their large sensor even in photo mode. Both are capable of taking photos with up to 37 megapixels. And both feature a live photo function. But the Luna Ultra has two particular strengths in photo mode as well. For one thing, I find the zoom lens even more important for photos than for video recording. 60mm is an excellent focal length for portrait shots. It results in less distortion and a beautifully compressed background. And unlike the Pocket 4, the Luna Ultra features a 360-degree panorama mode. That means you can take 200 megapixel 360 photos just like with a 360 camera. You can then look around freely within the photo and even animate it. And as you can see, taking a 360 photo is surprisingly fast. An absolutely cool feature. Here too, I don't understand why the Pocket 4 can't do this, since, as I mentioned, the gimbals on both cameras have the same range of motion. Both cameras have very good built-in microphones. This is absolutely sufficient for normal recordings. Don't forget that the Luna Ultra also has a detachable windscreen as we saw at the beginning. This actually helps significantly in reducing wind noise. For better audio quality, you should of course use an external microphone with both cameras. For the Pocket 4 there is the Mic 3 or the Mic Mini, and for the Luna there is the Mic Pro or the Mic Air. And then both cameras have audio settings to improve the audio quality when shooting with the internal microphone. So there is a voice enhancement mode on the Luna and there is a voice boost mode on the Pocket 4. For this comparison shot I activated both features. Both cameras have a very long battery life. In 4K 30 the Luna Ultra shoots for 2 hours. And the Pocket 4 even significantly longer, for a great 3 hours and 24 minutes. But unlike DJI, Insta360 has included the battery handle in the Luna Ultra Creator Bundle, and it acts like an extra battery, significantly extending the runtime. Aside from the main differences we've already seen, both cameras offer a range of additional features. Both include various beauty filters to soften skin tones or enhance skin color. Both can perform an automated barrel roll or feature a selfie follow mode. And of course, both have a timecode function. On the Luna Ultra, you can share your own color profiles via QR codes. So it's extremely easy to create a look and then share it with others. Insta360 calls this feature Recipe, but the Pocket 4 also has an advantage in a direct comparison. With 107 GB, it has more than twice as much internal storage as the Luna Ultra, which has 47 GB of internal storage. And then, of course, there are the accessories. The Pocket 4 has a magnetic connector on the gimbal head, where you can attach a fill light. There's also a fill light for the Luna Ultra, but you have to charge it separately. For both cameras, there's also an ultrawide lens that attaches magnetically to the main lens. And of course, there are ND filters and other accessories available for both cameras. Another interesting feature, for the Luna Ultra, there's a POV head tracker that you can attach like a headset. The gimbal will then track your head movements during a recording. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to test the new head tracker yet. But the most important differences, aside from image quality, are of course the additional lens and, very important to me personally, the detachable screen and remote, which is my personal highlight of the Luna Ultra. I think Insta360 has really gone all out here and tried to make the best and most innovative pocket camera currently possible. And I think they've succeeded in many ways. Apart from the recording time and the internal storage, the Luna Ultra is better than the Pocket 4 in almost every respect. But of course, that comes at a price. The Luna Ultra costs $769 in the US and €729 in Europe. That's no small amount. On the other hand, the Pocket 4 isn't available in the US at all yet. And it's unclear whether the Pocket 4 and 4 Pro ever will be. In Europe, the Pocket 4 costs €500. You'll find links to both cameras in the description below. Like any other pocket camera, the Luna Ultra isn't an action camera and can be damaged under certain circumstances. For example, if you drop it. If you use the link in the description, you'll get an exclusive 1-year FlexiCare plan for free. This lets you replace the camera twice at a low cost if you damage it. That can be extremely useful. But don't forget, you only get this benefit if you use the link in the description. So what would I recommend to you? As you've seen, the Luna Ultra really has a lot to offer. Of course, that doesn't make the Pocket 4 a bad camera. But the additional lens is especially useful for photos and close-ups. The remote is a particularly useful feature for solo creators, and my absolute favorite feature of the Luna Ultra. Of course, only you can decide if that's worth the extra cost to you. If you have any additional questions about either camera, just write them in the comments. And don't forget to give me a like as feedback if you found this video interesting. There will be a detailed beginner's guide for the Luna Ultra coming soon. So stay tuned and see you next time.